on flight, but it ain't a car. It's a super fast tortoise going the speed of light, breaking all the
Even in space, a group of tortoises is called a creep. Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get up and senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise Morning Coffee Show.
Hey! Woo!
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, look.
Good morning.
Hillbilly had to be on the far left.
Of course, the floating head has to be on the left.
you know, that's a good metaphor for you. The floating body thing, like the floating head.
Yep.
It reminds us that mentally, you're not all there.
Well, you just figured it out.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise show in the morning coffee show, the show where you drink coffee to and you wake up and you look as good as Tibalts down there.
Well, you're right about the waking up part. I don't know about the rest of it.
We have a good show today for you guys, and I'm excited to get into everything. And I just realized I spent too much time sleeping. I forgot to upload stuff.
I was going to say my greatest weaknesses will be exposed today.
Greatest weakness. Oh, so I thought my little show notes were interesting, if I'm provocative, hopefully. Yeah.
I don't want to say more than that. I'm saving it for later, but it exposes a lot of flaws for me. Just for me.
I believe you. I believe you. Because removal is a touchy subject.
It certainly can be.
You know, some people have their opinions of what's too much removal. Some people just don't want their stuff to be removed.
For sure.
You know, it's crazy. But with that, let's introduce everybody in the house today. Right to my left with the mohawk and the beautiful face, we have the one, the only. Why did things get mixed up? Hold on, I'm in the wrong thing. All right.
Time to rock!
We got the TheoneRAYman.
It's good to be back. Glad to be here.
Glad to be here. Glad things are doing all right as they can be. That's, you know, I've kept people up to date as much as possible without giving too much information. Saying to send your thoughts and prayers. Things are, you know, all the good stuff. We're hoping things work out for you because we love you and we hope everything goes just amazing. But with that, we have a floating head at the far left. That floating head is what? MTG HILLBILLY.
Dag, Blaggett.
Yeah, dag, Blaggett Hillbilly. What's up?
Not much. Getting ready for my afternoon stream since I no longer stream mornings. Been enjoying a much needed rest.
You don't know. You don't understand. Yeah. I've been having to watch other content creators because you're not streaming in the morning. You know how difficult that is?
Oh, you cheating on me now. Okay.
Yeah. Like today I watched Valiverse. I watched Star City Games. I watched May the Zoo Be With You podcast. Yeah. It's crazy. Well, I woke up early today too. I feel like the ball. I'm like, what time is it? My beepers. So I think
It's coffee time. That's what time it is.
oh yeah. And I even watched our friend down here earlier and comment on his video. And who's that?
Tibalts Apprentice wins. Flawless victory.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the ball. I even watched this show today and commented on twice. He's like, "This is the last episode." I'm like, "No, it's not. It can't be."
There might be one more secret episode coming. We'll see.
You're right. You need to do an episode dedicated to nothing but board wipes.
Indeed.
With that, at the bottom, far left, we got the logo. We got the one, the only.
Lone Wolf.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up?
Finally got the song title remembered.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, "This Is How You Remind Me" by Nickelback.
Oh my lord, that would have driven me crazy if I listened to
It's
that all
been
day.
stuck in my head. It was stuck in my head all day yesterday, and it's probably going to be that way today.
Oh man, such a good song, such a good classic 2000s song. If you want to remind me of what early 2000s was like, that's one of those songs.
Yep.
We got Oscar. Oscar, what's up?
What's up, Oscar?
Oscar, we got Fuzzy Falcon in the chat too. Fuzzy Falcon, what's up?
What's up?
What's up? Oh man, what a crazy morning. Like, I woke up at 7 in the morning today. Then I went back to sleep for like 15 minutes, woke up at 8:30. Went back to 8:30. I set up the show, then around 9:15 or 9:10, I went and took a nap till 10:30, and I'm like, today's gonna be a tough day. But with that, my friends, let's get moving on the show. Let's get to that first segment that we all love.
Card of the day.
Oh, whoa! The card of the day is Dark Leon Shredder, which has been mentioned to me as a great card to play.
Yeah, it is.
It's one of the cards I didn't pull from my boxes. So it looks like I need to get a Dark Leon Shredder. It costs a black and a white. It's a 1/3 with sneak for 1 and a black. It says attacking ninjas you control has death touch. So whenever Dark Leon Shredder deal combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 black ninja creature token. Then if you control 5 or more ninjas, that player loses half their life rounded up. That's pretty crazy.
So good.
Yep. And if you have things like doubling season, you're going to get the extra tokens, which makes it easier for this to happen. And then if you have the shredder that double triggers ninjas, this is a ninja, so his ability will double trigger. So you would make a 1/1 token, then it would check, and if you have 5 more ninjas, they're going to lose half their life, and then it's going to do it again.
You mean the rat that doubles the ninja triggers, right? Because
the rat, yeah, Splinter,
yeah, that'd be cool. That's a pretty good thing. The artwork, the artwork looks cool on this picture too.
Yep.
The one game I've won so far with my deck, this was able to knock out my biggest threat, and it was still a hard-fought game, but taking out the player who had a bunch of board wipes in their deck quickly was the way to go.
Nice. And look, in chat, we have Cane Shaker. James Willis, Cane Shaker.
I shake my cane at the clouds with my fury.
Let's
And
put
by quickly,
a
I do mean
smile
it was
on
like-
that face.
All right, go continue. I'm sorry.
By quickly, I think it was like turn 8 or 9, because this deck does not do anything super quickly.
That's right. Yep, Turtle's deck. What? I'll make it a bracket for. Trust me. No, I'm kidding. With that, let's get to the picture of the day. The picture of the day is removal. Sometimes we have to do it ourselves.
Wow.
They gave me the ability to use a pro image today, so I used it on this prompt here. They gave Leo, it's supposed to be electricity coming through his hands, shocking a creature, and this is what they gave me. He's holding a sword. It's a really good picture.
That's pretty cool. What does the pro do for you? Does it just get things more accurate, or how does that work?
Yeah, it gets more accurate. It gets more power. Like to the feed, it gives you better quality images.
Cool.
Yeah. I get that like once a week. So once a week I get a really good image. I mean, most of my images are pretty decent, but pros like so much better. But with that, removal. Sometimes they have to do it ourselves. That's right.
Yep.
All right. That goes with one of the questions we're going to hear today. But you know what time it is? It is a time to get to that segment of the day. We get to presented by Discord. We have the question of the day. The question of the day is brought to us by me. Let's see what I had to ask. Super Fast Tortoise here with the question of the day, my friends. The question is, what is your favorite removal card? Let's go.
Mm. Ooh, it's tough.
What is your favorite removal card? Like, it doesn't have to be good, but it can be good in situations. Like, I have one of my favorite ones. It's a board wipe.
There's a shocker.
Man, it's a shocker. But like I kind of have two, but my first one was in Grook's Wake. Then later on came Ruinous Ultimatum. You know? Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Go in order answering this question or what?
Well, if you have an answer, but you can just go ahead and answer.
Singularity Rupture.
Singularity Rupture. Oh, the mill one. Another board wipe on the list.
Yep.
I think I see a theme here. Everybody's picking their personality, sort of. I don't know.
That's right.
I was going to go OG and just say Sword of Plowshares. I don't do a lot of targeted removal, but Sword of Plowshares. However, Sword of Plowshares just destroys something, right? It doesn't exile.
No, it exiles.
It exiles and gains the life.
So the fact it's an exile makes a bigger difference these days. So, yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go completely off the wall, and but it is still removal. I'm gonna go the Annihilator for Ulamog.
Ooh, that is a form of removal.
He is a form of removal, and he's hard to get rid of. And if you don't remove him, he's just going to chew up all of your toys.
Yeah.
Oh, what about you, Lone Wolf? Do you have a favorite removal, or are there just too many out there for you?
I got two favorite removals. One's a creature and one's a sorcery, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
The creature is Vona. It's a vampire, and you pay 7 life to destroy target non-land permanent.
Oh, nice.
It has vigilance and lifelink, so I think that's crazy. But
Awesome.
I wouldn't be Lone Wolf if I didn't say Juggle Hops.
Juggle Hops. The land board wipe. Nice. That's
Need.
That's great.
Wow.
Ooh, those are some good answers, my fellow friends. And
This question should have been, what is your favorite board wipe?
Right. Oh,
Hey, change that to removal.
Sunfall. Is that Sunfall on vacation, Oscar?
Oh,
Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, I bet SFT knows my favorite removal. Hint, hint. They are white. Oh yeah, his is Wrath of God. And after we're playing Wrath of God, playing Armageddon.
yeah.
He's like, yeah. So
I just ain't got that meme yet.
you don't get that meme yet.
I haven't got that meme yet.
So you blow up the board so no one has creatures. You blow up the land so everybody starts over.
Yeah, I know. That's mean. I ain't got that meme yet.
Oh, I thought you meant meme. I'm like, okay.
No, he hasn't got that evil and spiteful yet. We'll corrupt him though. We'll get him.
This episode will bring you to the dark side. Trust me. And with that, we got to get to the show divider.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise. This is a free show on YouTube. It is completely volunteer based. This program is made possible by viewers like you, and share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. And also by contributions made to your Super Fast Tortoise channel and from viewers like you. You all rock. You are awesome.
You're crazy!
You are watching Super Fast Tortoise.
Ooh, so now we get into the hot stuff. Someone pull out the salsa. Someone pull out the Cholula. Pull out the Tabasco sauce. We're getting to the spiciness here. That's a spicy jalapeno, or that's a spicy meatball. I don't know what you want to say. It's spicy. When I was trying, I was trying my darnest to come up with a clever topic today because it is a Tibalt day. We like Tibalt here, and we have Rayman here. We got Lone Wolf here. And there's also a hillbilly who's going to learn a lot.
There's half of one.
Yeah. Well, look, you can read the word together, so he's somewhat put together. But yeah, so the topic is what is the best advice for running removal in Commander? Not talking about board wipes, even though board wipes are awesome. But I wrote a list of questions, and what we're going to do is we're going to ask these questions, and we're going to try to get everybody's take on their question. And it's going to feel like a personality test because I think Tibalt's going to dominate this.
Not even a little. I tell you what, my weakness is exposed. If I was going to make an analogy to 40K, I am the orcs that run on the battlefield and just scream and kill and smash everything. Don't do removal and board wipes for the most part.
Are you a purple orc?
What's that?
Are you a purple orc?
Maybe.
They're unblockable because no one's ever seen a purple orc before.
That's maybe, yes. That would be good.
All right, so let's get to the first question on the list, my friends. It says, do you up your A game and run all the best removal you can in large numbers? Are you running the most removal you can to get away with without ruining the theme of your deck? And are you aggressive and have to win at all costs? That is the first question.
Well, that's a loaded question,
right?
Because just because you're running the most removal that you could run doesn't mean you're trying to win at all cost. Those aren't connected.
Oh,
right?
It kind of is.
Wrong about this.
It's like in one of my decks I used to have a long time ago, it was loaded with removal, so I can get my stuff through first and most and win. I used to be an aggressive player compared to nowadays.
Right, but just because you're doing that doesn't mean you're trying to win at all costs. Like my Sephiroth runs a ton of removal, but that's because my Sephiroth wants things to be removed so he can flip. But I'm not trying to win at all costs. That's no fun. I got 40K if I want to play that game.
That's right. Kane Checker says, Tibalt looks a little undressed. That's because he's Iron Man today.
I feel a little bit naked and stuff. I had a lot going on this morning, and I didn't get dressed in time, so I feel a little naked.
But continuing with the question, though, do you run as much removal as you can in a deck?
No,
in one deck specifically, but not others. No.
What about you?
I try to run as little as possible, honestly.
Right.
Why is that? If I can interject a question.
Because I don't want to hit removal when I would rather hit something else, and player removal is just the best removal.
So arguably, you want more gas in the deck as opposed to having to be reactive. Is that right? Fair to
In
say.
most decks, yeah. Like the deck that I did with you, so that deck runs a lot of removal. And then, like I said, my Sephiroth deck is a lot of removal because he wants things to die constantly to get emblem triggers and things of that nature. But for my other decks, I don't run a ton. I run as little as I can get away with safely, and just try to just push my plan through and protect it.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's a good way to look at it. How about you, Billy? Do you run all the removal you can?
Well, I don't think I run enough removal, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Like in my Turtles deck, I don't think there's enough removal, and I added a removal spell to the deck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's like 4 things removal. Like the deck will get better over time, but like some people laugh at me, but I have one deck with like 8 board wipes in it.
Yeah.
Rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers. But and people make fun of me because they think like all my decks have like 8 board wipes in them. But no, not all my decks have 8 board wipes in them. But I do try to run sufficient removal. I mean, luckily the precon came with like 3 good board wipes in the deck.
Yeah, it does.
And
Or if you count the one that does the damage, the one that if a creature takes damage, just destroy it.
Mm-hmm. So good. Lone Wolf, the question rolls on to you.
Well, the thing is, yeah, I do run a decent amount of removal, but I also don't like doing that because I want to play the deck and not just focus on removal.
Right.
Exactly. I agree with Lone Wolf completely.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's kind of.
I built a deck just removal that literally it was a Shay Cormac deck. It was Orzhov. Shay says pay 1 mana and your opponents can't have hexproof, shroud, indestructible, all that fun stuff. And it was just removal deck. It was just 30 removal spells and ways to get them back. It was very boring. It was very boring to play. It was like, oh, you're going to picture. Oh, I'm going to blow it up.
I'm going
to blow it up.
Jane Shaker said this channel is the home of the board wipe. All right, that's funny. But what about you, Tibalt?
Well, I don't run enough removal. And this is why I thought this was going to be an interesting topic, especially for me, because I do want to hear other people's thoughts on it and their reasoning for how they play and what they play. I don't run enough targeted removal. And I'm trying to decide for myself whether that's a deficiency because I just don't know what are good things to target, if I have poor threat assessment, or if I just get overwhelmed by too many people having good things. So I thought about this, and I play the board wipes, I'm going to say as a crutch, but I play that because I was and am, generally speaking, a very budget-oriented player. And could not keep up with people's fast mana and fast creatures and things that were low to the ground. And as you know, or what you need to remember, you know this already, but when you're in a pod, you're facing 3 other opponents. It's not just a single person that you can take out, like, I take out this one thing. Right. And then 2 other people have other better things maybe on their turn, So that is how I've played up to this point, because I do think you're right. I think it's a personality test in this case. Right. That's what I've done. But having said all that, I am trying to do more and to find more value in targeted things, because I don't want to be the poor sport that is like, because again, same thing here. I've been accused of playing board wipe tribal. For some decks, that makes sense for me though. But again, it was the budget issue was the reason why I started to turn in that direction. I wasn't always that way, but I started to get that way. So the answer is I do not play enough targeted removal, and I should play more.
I also think it really depends on what bracket you're playing at.
Right.
This is one of those places where the brackets really do mean more than just how many game changers are you playing and how fast can you kill somebody. I think it's worth it to run more spot removal in lower bracket games,
Right.
because the idea of bracket 2, if you look at everything, is like boards are going to be building and you're going to be building, and it's going to take, the games are going to last 8, 9, 10 turns, kind of on the minimum end. So I think it's worth it to run more removal in the lower brackets, just because there's more things that are going to be put out because the games are just going to last longer. And while you don't have to worry about game changers, if you look at like the big creature based threats, none of them are game changers, right? Like Craterhoof Behemoth is just a big monster that can come out at any bracket.
Yep.
And if you're running a bunch of little dinky elves, it doesn't matter. Craterhoof comes out and suddenly you have a bunch of like 11/11 tramplers that you've got to deal with.
Right.
So it's worth it to run. I think it's worth it to run more removal the lower the brackets you go, which seems kind of strange as far as spot removal goes, just because there's going to be more big targets sitting out there for you to plink at.
I'm gonna take up the counterpoint and say, for me, the reason that doesn't make sense or doesn't, I don't necessarily agree with it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying for me personally, is it makes more sense for me to play target removal in higher brackets because they are more focused on winning, and I'm going to see their threats better and more accurately be able to use those. And I'm worried, like you were not worried, but like you were saying that you want your slots to be available. I don't want to waste my slots with target removal if it only hits one thing. I'm looking at it for a value type thing, and if I'm dedicating slots to specific removal, I guess I need to know I'm playing at a higher bracket where I'm more easily going to be able to identify those. But that's just me. Like I said, it's something I need to work on.
All right. Yeah, that's a good assessment. Self-assessment.
Sure.
Let's get to the second question. Do you play removal to your full advantage? Do you play removal to the highest degree you can? Do you play removal to a fault, where if you see the slightest advantage, you will take it?
I don't exactly know what this question is asking.
So, like one time, Rayman was playing a game, and he didn't want to destroy something of Hillbillies. But since he had some triggers on the stack that go with it, it would gain him some extra value. He took it, even though he didn't need to do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I did do that. That was a lot of value. That was going to put an 8/8 as the only creature on the board. Yeah, that's true. I did do that. I guess so. I guess I do that when the value is just so astronomically in my favor that it's like I'm fine making suboptimal plays in Commander when it's okay to do so. But sometimes when it's just like, oh, this is absolutely the right play.
Right.
Yeah, because I trapped Hillbilly's commander in his graveyard for the rest of the game, and got a bunch of stuff out of it. Like, it's not just that. If it was just that, I wouldn't have done it because that's lame, right? If it was just trap Hillbilly's commander in his graveyard for the rest of the game, I don't do it. But it's trap Hillbilly's commander in the graveyard for the rest of the game and have the only creature on the table that's going to be an 8/8. Yeah.
I'm going to jump in on this one real quick just because this is where I need to turn that corner and change my mind, because the thing that I've taken away from this question is, do you play where you see the slightest advantage, somebody else gaining the advantage, or so you can take the advantage? I've played up to this point like I was the police and it was up to me to remove every threat. This is something that I'm learning that I don't have to do, because if there's a card out there, it's not just against me, it's against other players. And I don't need to spend my removal every time taking their stuff out. So I think if I lean more into that philosophy, I probably could use more spot removal instead of just panicking like, oh, I got to blow up the board, reset everything. Oh, I got to blow up everything.
Well, so I think if you were more of a new player, I think the so far, based off the 2 questions we have, is you play your removal. You want to target the most advantageous thing you can, and not just remove anything on the battlefield. So far,
if something's causing a problem for you, but it's not killing you, understand that it's causing a problem for other people too, and maybe let them deal with it. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying.
I mean, like Hillbilly was mentioning earlier, he feels like he doesn't play enough removal. Like I think one of the things that as newer players, like he plays standard a lot, so he cares more about creature removal than he does anything else most of the time. Not all the time. But in Commander, you got to worry about artifacts, enchantments, lone wolf, all these other
player removal.
I'm joking.
Player removal.
I just wanted to get a laugh out of you.
No, you're not, Tortoise. Come on now.
Stop bullying him.
but seriously though, like you got to worry about artifacts, enchantments. You got to worry about like what artifacts, enchantments can do. Like one of my favorite spells to cast in a 5-color deck are the black-white ones. Because the Orzhov spells usually remove target permanent from the game or destroy target permanent, so your options are more open. But like when I look for spells, I'll get the derpy ones that say destroy target creature or destroy target artifact or destroy target creature or destroy target enchantment or destroy target planeswalker. I try to find spells that have multiple use. Ironically, when I said planeswalker, I realized I haven't seen a lot of planeswalkers in Commander lately.
That's because they're pretty bad. Like realistically, they're just pretty bad. You put them out there, they get to do one thing, and then it's like, oh, well, if this thing is too powerful, it's just going to get smacked.
Yep.
Right? Like you have 3 other people who you have to defend that thing from. So unless you can get it to, unless it's like it comes out, it does one really cool thing, it's worth its value, and then if it dies, oh well. And if you get to stay, then great. It's not worth playing.
Right. Makes sense. But I'm back on track, though. In Commander, I think you want to find removal spells that are very versatile as much as possible. Because like green doesn't really deal with creatures most of the time. And there is Beast Within. And there is Miliana Acid Moss, or however you say the card. But like most of the time, green doesn't destroy creatures. But you do have destroy target artifacts, enchantments, and creatures with flying. Those are good.
Whip Tongue Frog. I love the Whip Tongue Frog, especially against Ur Dragon.
Oh yeah. So you get a lot of good. You get a lot of good removal. I mean, White has some of the best removal in the game for creatures.
Swords and Path is awesome.
Yeah, they're so good. And Black has just the craziest amount of creature removal and planeswalker removal. So
it's funny. Black's removal all used to be back in the day was just like destroy target non-black creature, right? It was like you had a lot of removal, but you couldn't remove other black things with it, and that's gone away now. But there's been other downsides. You lose life, or you lose life equal to its mana cost. I think that's stuck with the black identity in Magic.
Yeah, like I'm a fan of Shredder's technique. It's like one of my new favorite little uncommons from the set. Probably one of the hardest ones to pull because I only pulled like 4 of them out of 3.
I pulled 2.
Right. But it's destroy target creature or enchantment, and you lose 2 life if enchantment was destroyed this way.
It's like a Withering Torment, right? Like it's another enchantment removal for Black, which Black desperately needed.
Right. Kane Jaker says there may be more planeswalkers played in the near future. Yeah.
If they make it so any planeswalker can be a commander, then I think we'll see more played.
Well, I think he's talking about Reality Fracture.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll have more some planeswalkers in the next set, which is Secrets to Strixhaven.
Yeah, we've already seen one.
Yeah. They done made a comment about Universes Beyond and Planeswalkers. There will not be no Planeswalkers in any Universes Beyond set.
Right.
Really? But the lack of Planeswalkers isn't from them not coming out. It's the fact that they're fairly bad in Commander.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to the next question. This one's going to be more provocative. I know it's going to get Rayman talking a bit. That's the point. It says, do you play into politics with the removal? Do you play into politics? Do you try to leverage deals to remove a threat or a problem on the table? Do you try to show strength in others' possible temporary weakness? Do you scoop up the glory of being the person with the answer?
So the politics thing is really important, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more politicking you do, the less removal you need to use, right? Because if I can make it, if we're sitting at a table, it's the five of us, and we're playing a 5-player game, and I can make a deal with Tibalt and Lone Wolf, even for just a couple of turns, where I'm like, hey, look, what's going on the other two players' table side is the issue. I won't use my removal on you. Just don't come my way. Then that's a removal that I can use more judiciously, right?
Right.
Like the better at politicking you get, and the more of it you do, the less removal you need, because then suddenly you don't have threats from 3 other players. You have threats from 2 other players, and if it's a really bad threat, it's like, oh, well, that's only a threat from 1 other player because everybody else. And Tibalt's kind of talked about this, right? Like if that threat is out there and it's hitting everybody, it's not just a threat to you, it's a threat to everybody.
Right.
And that's a perfect opportunity to politic, right? Like, hey, can somebody do something about this? We can, there's a deal that can be made.
Well, the reason why I bring up this question is because I think politics is mainly for removal in most cases. Like there's a lot of politics and people do. They're like, don't attack me and I'll do this for you. And usually deals with removal. I can get rid of this creature and I can politic this way. You can take leverage. And I think that's important for the way you play around in a game, because sometimes the threat on the table doesn't affect you.
Right. It may not affect you, but it may affect an opponent, and they may have something that can hurt you later. And making a deal with that player early is a good way to slow it down and try to build up so you can have some kind of answer when push does eventually come to shove.
Well, what do you think, Hillbilly?
Yeah, I think politics is needed, especially in late game, especially with removal, because you need to access the threat and take the threat out.
What Mad Saxon looks like he's looking up something.
I'm trying to shut off my freaking Discord so it doesn't keep dinging like that. Sorry about that.
Go to your settings and put it on the streamer mode.
I just hit it and just said, get out of there. So I'll be asking you guys how to get back on after the show.
Tom Mitchell says, great topic. Thank you. It was all Tibalt's idea.
Well, this touches on, so now we've hit on a what I think is very important and very telling about me, which is I don't do politics. I don't think so. I don't feel like I do politics. I talk a lot of trash at the table.
Right.
But I'm not one, but when it comes down to it, I don't ever ask for mercy or leniency. Or when somebody says, well, I think I might have to attack you, I usually say, well, go on, do it then. Show me, prove it. And because I don't, it feels, politics feels wrong to me at a certain point. I'm not, I don't know. It's just, for me, it doesn't feel.
It's been there from the beginning, Tibalt.
What's that?
It was part of the original game design for Commander. Just
for sure. Absolutely. But for me, again, we go back to that orc thing. Like, you don't see orcs asking for mercy. They're going, hit harder. And, if you hit harder and take me out, well, I did a good job as best I can.
But orcs may be brutal, but they're also cunning.
That they can be, for sure. Yeah.
Brutal but cunning. And cutting a deal?
I'm not saying I never politic, but it doesn't come natural to me. And I will quickly point out and say, hey, they're arch enemy, let's get them. But very seldom does it come down to, And I think I take your point taken that I do think I should, and I would be able to look at things better if I would be able to look at spot removal better if I made more deals like that. If I did say, okay, let's not do anything with each other for the next 2 turns, and that would be better for me. And maybe I need to do that more. It just doesn't come naturally to me, though. I'm not used to asking for leniency for anything, so.
Right.
I don't know if it's asking for leniency so much as it's making good tactical decisions. I mean, just thinking about it from a war perspective, right? Wars are rarely ever won if they're being fought on multiple fronts at the same time.
For sure.
And if you can just be like, hey, let's just have a temporary reprieve. We're not, I'm not showing you mercy. You're not showing me mercy. This is self-interest. This is, let's worry about these things over here, and then we can just slug it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's my shortcoming, and that's why up to this point, I haven't done that enough. And that's why board wipes were my solution, because it's like, yeah, I'm not asking for anything. Boom, let's all restart.
Game checker. The only politicking I may do is ask, please don't kill me, because I play cards with the words orb in it.
That's a good way to make yourself arch enemy.
That is the good way to point the fist right towards you.
Well, I mean, Lone Wolf, what do you think politics is important in the game of Commander? Do you play around with politics?
I don't play around with politics mainly because I don't know how to. Like, I really don't. But to a certain extent, I think it's important to the game. I as much as I don't want to say that, and I hate saying it, it's important to the game. I just don't know how to do it, so I don't do it.
That makes sense. So let's get to the next question. Do you remove a problem even if the effect of a card has little impact on you compared to others? Are you the person who will destroy a card on the table even if it has no real effect on your game or plan? Are you that hero or villain that has to destroy it? Or like the previous question states, do you find ways to twist politics into the gameplay?
I think you can tell by the way
I can use it
that I absolutely am guilty of that. And I'll destroy something just because it's funny, or because I think it's funny, which doesn't necessarily translate to the rest of the table thinking it's funny. It just means that I thought it was really funny to counter their turn 1 soul ring or whatever the case may be.
Right.
I need to be better about that. I know, and I see my weakness, and I know that I should not do that. That's what I was talking about earlier about I need to let other people resolve threats before I don't need to jump to that villain or that hero role, whatever it might be.
Yeah, like I'm the kind of person that the threat doesn't bother me. I let it last so someone else can waste a spell on it. But unless someone wants to do politicking, in that case, and I'm not gonna be like, hey, I have the answer in my hand. Like someone says, we need to get rid of that, and if they ask me if I can do something about it, I'm like, I could probably do something about it. And then that's when politics will start.
Right.
Tom Mitchell says, removing the wrong perceived threat
Sorry.
can screw up a game. SFT still remembers the bad swords I did 3 months ago. That's right.
And you can use that to your advantage too, right? This is where like stretching your politics muscle is good, because if that thing isn't bothering you and you have a way to remove it, you have very little reason to remove it, right? But you can always look at the player who has that big awful thing and be like, hey, just keep that thing over there, right? Just keep it over there, and it can sit there forever as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
So sometimes politicking is as much just you're helping yourself, you're hurting your multiple opponents. It just it's all about recognizing the board state, and that comes with a lot of Magic knowledge. Politicking, the more Magic knowledge you have, and the more you can assess the game state properly, the better your politicking will be.
Right. And that really comes from playing and paying attention, because I played a lot of games. I didn't necessarily pay attention to what was going on. But here's my question. This first of all, I'm going to say, I don't think you should blurt, like you said, I don't think you should blurt out an answer or say that you have something out of turn.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should go in turn order. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree that people should assess threats in turn order, or do you just let the new player or whatever just blurt out, "Oh, I can kill that"?
Well, if the new player blurts out that I can kill that, I'm going to let him kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Save with a card in my hand.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, okay, I'll let you deal. I'll deal with it, so you can save your removal card that could possibly affect my game later. No, if you want to deal with it, go ahead.
So it's in the comprehensive rules that a player may give any information that they are privy to whenever they wish.
Okay.
That's in the comprehensive rules for Magic.
Mm.
That's why it runs to funny stuff like say I have a spell that makes Tortoise show me his hand.
Mm.
I can tell you what's in it.
Mm.
Even though you didn't get to look, I can tell you what's in it because that's information that I am now privy to.
Mm.
Really? Okay. I didn't know what the rules were for that, but I guess my advice then is for newer players is hold that information. Be aware that you don't have to share until it's maybe your turn. So maybe look at things and say in turn order.
Right.
Hey, Rayman, can you do anything about that? Hey, Hillbilly, can you do anything about Lone Wolf? Can you do anything? Gets to me. Well, I'm going to have to blow this up then. Maybe. I don't know. Just
really quick, I want to say hello to the Real Wiz.
What up,
yeah. But yeah,
I tell new players to speak as little as possible about what's in their hand. Like, you know, chuck it up, have fun with the game. But as far as what's in your hand, keep your mouth shut. You don't know enough to know what you should and shouldn't tell people.
I mean, newer players have a bad poker face most of the time anyway. You know when they have something in their hand that's good.
Yep.
They're really all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed looking at their hand.
Older players have bad what's in their hand too.
What's up, Real Wiz?
So what happens, like when I have something good in my hand, I tell I got is I'm doing this.
I do it all the time. So
on spell table, I'm going to say when Tortoise gets quiet, then there's a problem coming. That's what when he stops talking, that's when you really need to worry about him.
I stopped talking when the game's starting to get intense, and I got to focus on what's happening.
Yep.
That's why I think we need to do a recorded game once, so I can edit out all the silence. But anyways, let's get to the next question. Do you play removal without a plan, or if needed, not to survive the game? Meaning, do you play removal when it's not important? Do you play removal for other people just for fun? Like, do you see a threat that has no effect on you as a player? And are you like, oh, snaps, that's got to go just because you got the answer in hand that could possibly be used somewhere else in the game?
I think that is absolutely me. It has been me up to this point. So it's something that I've been working on over the last year or so, and I'm trying to be better about it. But I have been 100% guilty of that. Like I said, load it up just because it's funny or just because I could. I had the one card that answered it. It's like, ooh, gotta show this off. Boom, it's gone.
Right?
No, not really, but I thought it was funny.
Well, see, one thing I learned a long time ago, and I think you're kind of learning, is the more answers you have played in a game shows more the threat assessment that you are. Like when you play more of the removal spells, you look like the threat. Because you're removing everybody. You're trying to get. It looks like you're trying to get advantage of the game, and sometimes it's a flex.
Yeah.
It must be nice to sit down at a table and not know that you're the threat immediately every effing time you sit down.
That's where it becomes a problem too. We've talked about this a little bit before too, but it's like sometimes your commander just makes you the threat whether you are or not. But that's a whole other series.
I mean, in a perfect world, everybody at the table is a threat.
For sure.
Yeah, that's how the game actually works. Like that's legitimately how the game works. Although some people do not understand that fact.
Right.
But like in a game when someone's like either building their board big or someone's removing stuff all the time, you're like, this person's doing more of the work. They must be stopped. So
Yep.
I can win because like even though it's a fun game, I want to win. Hillbilly doesn't like winning, so he'll not win. I'm kidding.
Well, that's why I feel
Everybody
like
should
take advantage
want
of that.
to win.
Yeah.
But
It'd be fine if they don't, but everybody should want to.
but that's like you said, that's also a flex. And I think when you do that, you do show people that you have answers, and by that very nature, you're the threat, because it's like, oh, this guy has something to stop everybody. Well, I've got to get him out of the game so I can continue to do my stuff. So that's
Right.
a horrible strategy. Doesn't really work, and it's the way that I've played for a long time.
Here's an impromptu question. Do you feel pity on someone who's having a terrible game and purposely not remove something for them? Because
Yes.
they might like take
I
6
do.
turns to get the land. They need to play a 4-drop.
Mhm.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I could rationalize that as it still being the correct play. Because so when you're sitting down at a table, you have so many resources, right? And it's not just removal, it's any resource, right? And if there is one player of your 4-player pod who is mana screwed and can't
Right.
do anything, that person is not a threat. They're not doing anything,
Right.
right? So why should I waste resources putting them further behind than they already are, as opposed to the people who are sitting on either side of me who are playing the game normally and could, in theory, just kill me whenever. Now,
Right.
the one exception to that is if the player who's mana screwed is playing some crazy combo deck, where I know that, oh, well, when they get their 5th land, there is a chance they just win the game out of nowhere. Then I'm not targeting them, but I'm definitely keeping an eye on what they're doing.
Right.
But if they're playing a big stompy commander and they're mana screwed, nah, man, keep doing. You do what you do. Whatever you're doing over there, you're fine. Keep going. Let me know when you play a creature.
And I think that's a good reasoning for having spot removal in your hand ready to go,
Right.
because you can then react to that player, like I said, that's done nothing for the first 8 turns, but they get their one combo piece down and they're going to win the game the next turn out of nowhere. So that's the best reason I can think of for playing more spot removal.
Right.
Another thing to go along with this question: what if somebody can't get a creature down? I mean,
if they're playing a creature
they're
deck,
getting
then I'm not going to
flexed.
set them behind.
Mhm.
Yeah, if they're playing a creature deck and they're just getting mana flooded, then I'm probably not going to attempt to try and set them back because they're already setting themselves back by missing a bunch of drops. But I think it's situational, just like the other thing. Like if they're playing a combo deck and they're just getting land flooded, well then I'm still weary because those decks just went out of nowhere. Few creature decks can truly just win the game out of nowhere. There are a couple; they do exist. There's not a ton of them.
Yeah.
Here's one more quick horrible confession, which is I have game memory. So if the person that's behind is like the one of the last 5 games, I'm going to kill him. I'm trying to be better about that. I'm trying not to carry the past games with me. I'm trying not to remember that time that Super Fast took out all my lands.
What you asked for.
or whatever, But, I'm trying not to remember that. But, geez, I still want to attack him first.
You told me to do that. You told me to do it, even though I told you I wouldn't do it. And you're like, do it. So you have the memory.
No, I said have the memory. What I meant was to have it to lord over you and to have something with it for the rest of the time.
All right, we got to get to the last question.
No.
Yes, if you had any advice to give people on playing removal and commander, what would that advice be?
If you're new, run more. The more experienced you get, run less because you'll know what the threats are and you won't need as much of it. And then you can run more things that your deck really cares about pushing your game plan ahead specifically.
Right. What about you, Emily?
Be more like SFT and run about 10 board wipes.
Run 10 board wipes.
No, I just have to agree with Rayman here.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So I'm going to say make sure that your spot removal is removing permanents and at instant speed.
If possible.
If possible.
If possible.
And Lone Wolf, what about you?
I will say run some, but don't run too many. But I'm also going to go off of what Tybalt said here. You want to have a variety of removal, like targeting, enchantments, artifacts, creatures. You got to have a variety. Don't put all removal onto one specific type.
Right, makes sense. And I'm the kind of person who says, run the best removal you can find in your colors, and play it to your most political desire. Don't just destroy everything, unless it's a grave pack. Destroy that
Quickly.
I'm kidding. But anyways, have fun. Rayman gave the best answer. I think everybody agrees with him. Run removal. If you're new, run lots of it. When you get better, run less of it. And remember, really, like here's something I want people to take home with them. We haven't touched on this today. Combat is also creature removal if you do it right.
Yep.
100%.
So
100%.
Kane Chicker says, does it count if I say if you're playing SFT, then remove him at first and fast?
If you're playing a creature-based deck, player removal is the best removal. You can't play board wipes if their health's at 0.
That's right. I need to play a game of Commander with a full table. It's fun, real is.
Yeah.
But with that, my friends, we got to get to.
Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless.
The end step. Oh, we got to get to the end step. I'm running late because I got to make dinner early because the wife goes to work early. But still, where did that time go?
It flew by.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right, but it's that time where we gotta get to the shill section, thrill section, the end step where Lone Wolf starts us off by telling you to make sure you hit that subscribe button, right?
Thanks, everybody. Just like the stream and help everybody out here, support everybody, and just remember, you play Magic. Don't forget to just have fun.
Have fun for sure.
Absolutely.
And with that, we're gonna roll over to Mad Saxon Tybalt.
Hey, so thanks for having me on. I think it was a great topic and a great format, actually, being able to answer a question and move on to each person's answer and stuff. So that's very cool. In the meantime, go to darkritual.site. That's where you can find everything that is Tibalts Apprentice there. And again, thanks for having me.
Yeah, hold on. Popping up.
That was a little short. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, so darkritual.site. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I'm trying to do stuff. Now we're going to roll over to Rayman.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's great to be back. I've missed a few days. I've had some sickness in the family, but I'm here. It's good to be here. We're trying to get our Commander game on tonight, our pre-con game. Todd won last week with the Goad deck, the Boros Goad deck from Murders at Call of Manor. So whenever our next game is, he'll be back defending that crown. Hopefully it's tonight, but with everything going on, I'm not sure yet. We're trying to get everybody squared away. But if you missed the first game, check those out. They're on demand at Mr. B's Game Lounge on YouTube. We're at Mr. B's Game Lounge. We're not open today because it is Tuesday, but we'll be open tomorrow, and we'll have Magic every single day. So if you're looking to play some Magic in person, come check us out. And I've been on a long break, but I'm only on a 23-hour break this time, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.
See tomorrow. With that, we're going to roll over to Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. April the 12th is early access streamer event for Secrets of Strixhaven. So,
Already?
Yeah, already. But anyway, this afternoon I will be doing arena stream. I'm going to be playing some, blue and white. I think that's Zorius, I believe. Anyway, I'll be doing that for this afternoon around 2 o'clock. That's all I got planned for today.
Hold on. Yeah.
Oh, let me go ahead and mention tonight. Tonight at 7 o'clock, I'm going to play a pre-con Commander game. And if you're part of the Discord, you got a pre-con you want to play, make sure you let me know, or let Super Fast Tortoise know, because he'll let me know. If you want to play, just let me know.
All right. Yes, I'm trying to get Tom's attention. See, Tom, you available tonight for a Commander game? I heard you got a new pre-con.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, everybody, Super Fast Tortoise. If we can get that pre-con game rolling, I will not be going live tonight. If it can't get going for some reason, I'll go live tonight doing something. But with that, so no plans other than hanging out with Hillbilly. Assuming Lone Wolf will probably be there, and hopefully Tom can be there, or whoever can jump in as the fourth. That'd be amazing. Pre-con, turtles. We want a turtle game. We want a full-on turtle game. See this thing? We got to crack this open today and play it for the first time. Not the deck, this particular deck. But with that, I want to thank you guys for being here. Rayman, Hillbilly, Tibalts, Lone Wolf, thank you for being here. Everybody in chat, you rock your rule. Thank you for keeping the chat live and awesome. And thank you for enjoying this video. When this video is done, leave in the comments your thoughts, because I'd love to know more of your thoughts. But with that, I want to remind you that you love someone's thinking about you, and if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else today, because you might be the change or the motivation they need to get up and start going again. And thank you, channel members and subscribers, for everything you do. And with all that said and done, we're going to get out of here.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning